Hi, it's Spence, the evil genius.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm here with my son, Zach, who is getting ready for a hockey game, eating his rice and salmon. That's right, Zach. Say hi, everybody. Hey, I wanted to give you guys a quick update because it's Monday, December 8th, keeping the streak going. Today was really amazing and productive. Had a lot of actual in-person meetings, including a very good one at lunch. Had a lot of creations that came out of the box today. The production is getting better and better, faster and faster. But today I want to share a couple things. First of all, Simple Site MCP, which is the merging of FluentMCP and Simple Site. We've got the version 5.0 of the MinuteLaunch Updater being installed across all of the networks. I want to share some of the results of also things that have happened with Claude and Cursor and Gemini and so forth. I'm not going to take too long, but let's go to the screen, shall we? I'm going to use a browser share because I don't need to talk to the dudes right now, but let's take this window here. Righty. And get myself a little situated. Usually takes me a couple of tries to get me hooked up. All right, let's start with Simple Site. Simple Site came about last week, and it really has, I don't know, like blown my mind in terms of what we're able to do here for a couple of reasons. I have two sites set up with Simple Site, but let me show you what's under the hood. Imagine if you could have, for the sake of discussion, and by the way, whoever's here, say hi if you want. Imagine if you could have a setup where quite literally, we only need 2 plugins, maybe 3. I'm going to delete a couple plugins here. This is an Insta WP site. We don't even need the Canva block. All we need is FluentMCP and Simple Site. And that by itself is pretty remarkable because FluentMCP is the walkie-talkie that allows you to essentially have your desktop agent, Claude or Cursor, talk to the WordPress site. MinuteLaunch Simple Site is what now gives you the ability to quite literally publish any kind of content you want automatically, manage it, and do all your setup in one spot. And this applies whether or not you're using Fluent tools or you're using anything else. One of the things I want to share with you is what does this mean in a practical sense? The new MinuteLaunch Simple Site allows you in version 1.6.6 and above to instantly create a site from existing pre-saved sites, export a site, import a site, load a sample site, have your dudes work on the site, have you or your team edit the site, all of it from one page. So in theory, and I can show you this, we can just add in a free plugin, or maybe I'll put it into Simple Site. We can hide all of the other stuff from WordPress. We don't even need to bother with the theme anymore. We just literally have Cadence installed, and that's it. Nothing is set up. One of the plugins that I use, free or paid, was Admin Menu Editor. I'm going to show you something. This is kind of cool, just to make a point. Let's say you had Admin Menu Editor and you had a client. You can selectively hide all of the administrative menus that you want, which could be, again, useful for a variety of reasons. But let's just say for right now, I'm going to put it in using the free version. And if I go into here, I'm going to literally hide everything except for 2 sites, 2 things, FluentMCP, MinuteLaunch Simple Site. Obviously, you wouldn't hide the dashboard and everything. Now, how can I do this? This is besides the point, so I'm trying not to get distracted here. How can I hide this? Let's see. Oh, I could just delete it. What the hell? I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm just going to delete something. And I'm feeling cognitive dissonance right now because I'm getting aside from where I wanted to actually show something. So in this free version, unlike the pro one, it doesn't let you just hide this stuff. That's why I got thrown off. So never mind. Let me see if this actually lets me delete it. Hold on. Delete menu. Yeah, I'll just hide over here. I'll hide it from all users. I'll hide this from all users. I'll hide this from all users. I'll hide this from all users. Let me see if that's actually doing what I think it is. Right. So you can imagine as I'm going down this page, I can hide all of the items from particular users. And what I'm getting at is that let's say you created a site for your customer and they're non-technical And you've made it where literally they only have 1 or 2 pages to work with, and that's to connect the MCP to their dude. And the second thing is to essentially use MinuteLaunch Simple Site. Now, this to me is remarkable. Here's what we end up with. This is, in theory, what you could have. Dashboard, Simple Site, FluentMCP. FluentMCP, I've already connected to my dude. MinuteLaunch Simple Site gives me the setup that my dude can do. Now, here's what he gave me earlier today. This was from a webinar. I have this guy over here did something cool too. If I take my dude, who is, let me see which site he's connected to. You can't see him, but I'm going to bring him into the stage here. He's connected to, the test site. So he's connected to this one. All right, let me bring the dude in. Hello, dude. I got to get my windows a little organized. I'm going to have to bring this down. All right. Stop the screen, bring it in the full screen. Should have probably done that to begin with. All right, get me out of the way. Here is, on the right, my browser, which has the main site. And then I'm going to use this guy as my dude. He's the one who actually writes the plugin. I honestly don't remember his name. I can't remember Hey, let's do some online stuff. We're doing the live with me and Fernando show. What did I name you? I forgot your name. I literally forgot. I think, let's see if he can remind me. It's not Bernardo because he's ML Simple Site. Let's see if he remembers. He's having his moment of doubt. Do you remember if I gave you a name before? And what I'm going to do probably is I'm also going to create a new agent. So, because he's a little long in the tooth. See, he's down here. He's long in the tooth. He's like 74%. Okay. Okay. For today, I'm going to call you Christopher. We're going to test the testsimplesite.instawp.co, where you've got FluentMCP and you got the new Simple Site. Let's show people how you can reinvent this whole site. Literally remake this whole site. I'm going to give you a couple things to try. Let's say, for example, you use my TrikPilot.com. If you search for TrikPilot.com, you'll see some colors and some logos. Make it about trike flying and Spencer Form and TrikPilot.com. Change the whole thing. Just invent something new. Now, one of the things I want to tell you, notice I'm using Sonnet 4.5. Sonnet is the best tool in general for coding, for logic, for doing a bunch of stuff. If I was doing pure design, I would actually switch it to Gemini 3. We're going to try Sonnet, and then we're going to go to Gemini. Let's see how Sonnet does. Just to be clear, I want to use the Simple Site plugin and all of the capabilities through the MCP. So we just want to tell it what to do. Now, what I've been doing with all of these plugins while he's working on that is if we go in the back end and you go into the dashboard, you'll notice a couple things that are interesting. First of all, I added revision history so you can save stuff. You can have optionally or not have a header navigation, logo, title, optional title, no title. You can save this and share this as a single page or a multi-page for navigation. Display it on the home page, disable any specific page if you want. Like you can literally have it as a secondary site page. I noticed that the menu is missing there. I'll have to check on that. But the basic idea is you have everything you need, and then you can toggle up this. You can also create all the various components here. And again, they can be hidden from the navigation or included. You can change the slugs. You can change the order that they're in. And it really ends up being a remarkable output because, again, like you see here, we can decide to show or not show the various things and end up with something that is truly a full website, a full business site, whatever it is that you want. Let's see if he comes up with something clever live. Let's see what he's coming up with. I'm just checking to make sure you're working in the background, right? Notice that if I wanted to, using cursor, I can actually create a new agent. And in doing so, this is kind of neat. Here's a trick for you kids. Switch over to Gemini Pro 3. Hey, it's Spence, your Cristobal's twin. I've got a ML Simple Site set up at test something Insta WP. I would like you to go out and investigate TrikPilot.com. Find the logo, find the brand, the colors. This is Spencer Foreman you're talking to. And remake the site at blankety blank. Let's see if I didn't lose what I just said. Yeah. And I'll just give him the URL. With something about the TrikPilot.com branding and otherwise. Make it super cool, innovative, use your best design ideas, and use the MinuteLaunch Simple Site to put your content out there for the page. And just to remind you, that's an MCP connection. So MCP, Model Context Protocol, means that he has the tools through a walkie-talkie device to actually configure all of the things about this setup, which is really remarkable because that means that you don't have to do it yourself. He can do all of it. He can also, like he just did here, somebody's working on this site. So what's interesting is I may have a problem. I just realized I've got two dudes working on adjusting the site at the same time. So I'm wondering whether I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna tell this guy, pause what you're doing. I'm gonna pause this guy because otherwise what's gonna happen is he's gonna do something and then it's gonna overwrite with the other guy. Pause. Don't update the site yet. I'm gonna let the other guy do it first. So Christopher's twin. So this guy's looking at stuff like Facebook and some other nonsense. Right now, there's no website at TrikPilot.com, but if you just search in Google, you'll find the logo and the colors and some history and what it's about. It's about flying trikes. Just make something cool, but use those colors and their styles and make it about trike flying and the history of TrikPilot.com. So he has the capability now. I will say this much. The ability to do research for Gemini 3 is like, not so great. The ability to do design is really, really amazing. He's really good at design. He's not so good, in my opinion, at coding or logic, but we're going to find out. We're going to FAFO. We're going to design around and find out. Okay, so he's still hopefully paused. I don't see anything changing here yet, so I'm assuming he hasn't broken or changed it. I will tell you, though, it's pretty cool when they actually do the stuff on the fly, because in usually just a minute or two, I mean, we'll see how long it is here, they can do the research, they can go get a comparable site, they can do pixel perfect design, they can do copywriting, all the stuff that used to be just tedious and hard can be done for you. But if you give them specific examples, they can actually do a remarkable job of very specific work. That means it's not like just randomly sending your kid to the grocery store. It's like, here's a shopping list, do these things, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I could see he's doing some research. Now he's updating it. He doesn't understand the blue slate theme because I'm not sure what that's about. If I was to go to this and go to Google and go TrikPilot, okay, and I did some searching like this, I could give him some remarkable things, right? So if I said copy image address, oh, that's a bad image. Let's get a real image. Oh, let's copy image. I could give him some help. You know what I mean? Like the idea is I don't have to torture him. And I know that there's TrikPilot Social. I don't know if he can see that publicly. That's the thing. This is the social group. I wonder if that will come through. I know it comes through for me, but let's see if it comes through in incognito. Because if it doesn't, he can't see it, obviously. No, he can't really see that. Let's see how he does. I mean, the colors are black and white and versions of it. I gave you a couple hints here, you know. And you got it right. It's Spencer Foreman, not Suspensor. I think my microphone needs adjusting when I'm talking to him. Okay, so let's see what he comes up with. Well, it's cute, but that's not what it should be. And I can give him better tools, like, for example, how to get to something. So if I did a history, I know what I can do, actually. Watch this. If I do Wayback Machine, I think he can get to that. There was a time at which TrikPilot was public. Now it's on a Facebook group. Let's see where this comes in. See. Let's go way back to 2006 and see what we got. Maybe there's a site there. I don't even know. This is probably on Ning or something like that. Let's see what we come up with. The point is not this particular example, because this example, oh my God, look at this. Wow, this is like a walk down memory lane. This was all done in HTML5. Holy cow, that is remarkable. Holy cow. I just had like a memory lane seizure. I'm gonna have to come back to this because this is crazy. I remember doing this stuff back in the day. That's like amazing. All right, let's do something more contemporary. Sometime around 2010, I think things got pretty good. This is around the Ning days, probably. I don't know if the sites will even show up. Let's see. During the Ning days, it looks like it was archiving, but we'll find out. I'm totally getting off kilter here. Yeah, this is like during the Ning days, but nothing really shows up. So it's just, let's see what he comes up with. I'm getting lost. Let's see if he's fixed this. Well, not quite. I'm not really thrilled with that. Let's start over. Okay. Listen, let's do something that's contemporary that you can get to, because TrikPilot is not really assets that are. I want you to do some quick research on trike flying or microlight flying. I want you to build a website including images and colors that are yellow, black, and shades of yellow, black, gray. And the logo that I gave you, you can use, which was the image from TrikPilot.com. And then build the page about that topic and use your best design ideas for 2025, including layout and other elements. So let's give him a little hint here. TrikPilot. Logo. This would be easier if I just copy image, paste it in. Okay, let's see what he does with that. I'm not sure whether or not this is the best example to start him off on, because again, it's like vintage stuff. It doesn't even have a website. But if we gave him something that was available in the public record, which I'll try, it would be cool. Let's see what he's got though. Enter the hanger, history, founder. And I'm going to tell him to set up Simple Site to make it a multi-page site instead of scrolling single page site, and include a contact form that will connect to Fluent CRM. Include, let's see, something that opens up my Calendly over at calendly.com/WPLaunchify/Spence to make a call with me. Do some research on Spencer Foreman and my websites and get some other information in there about me. Spencer Foreman. Let's see what he does. Okay, while I'm talking about that, or while he's cooking away at that, next, let's talk about the updates we have for the various sites. I'm going to go to xanderholt.com. I've been updating everybody to this 5.0. I'm making sure one by one that everybody should have the right thing. So let me see. If I go in the back end of this, it should be okay, I think. Let's see if I show you the 5.0. You should be having that if you are a MinuteLaunch subscriber. And it will look like this, MinuteLaunch. you will have something that looks like essentially the other MinuteLaunch, but it's much faster and more lightweight. It's version 5.29. Many of you have been asking about that. I'm doing it one by one because I'm checking you against the roster, and we're including you in the new way of doing this. Notice you don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything. This is now self-hosted on a special server. We have a JSON file, and I'm just doing an audit. So it's coming, and soon you'll be in the right spot, the right time. Next, VIP at FluentMCP. I talked about this. The VIP section, I'm onboarding anybody who has been a VIP customer of mine to this new VIP experience, which is essentially, if you've already paid $5,000 for VIP and we've moved your business, your everything else over, you're already good to go. You'll be onboarded here. I'll send you a notice to update and edit and take control of your profile in the community. But essentially, that's what we're doing. I'm putting everybody into a VIP community portal that's only available to those folks who have done the VIP. There's nothing you're missing yet. It's just being set up as we speak. But it's going to be at FluentMCP, and there'll be a mirror version of this, I think. I'm trying to figure it out either at MinuteLaunch. FluentMCP, though, I have been making good progress over here with the knowledge base. And so even though these quick start guides aren't done, you'll notice we got about 14 skills in here. These are all the skills that my AI and I are using for building out sites and doing stuff. So this is live. You can use this on your own with your own MCP. For example, if I said here, copy page URL, and I gave this to this dude over here, right? So copy page URL. Oh, sorry. It's still bringing in the TrikPilot thing. Let's just do simple style. Hey, by the way, here's a cool skill on how to design hero sections that capture attention. Why don't you read this skill, tell me you understand it, and use it for making the hero section on this page. So what happens is when we have these skills for the various things, your dude instantly can know what to do exactly as it should be. That's like literally you hired a virtual employee and I'm able to train him or her or it remotely. He's saying here, I'm poring over the hero section, focusing on the advice, synthesizing the design elements. So anyway, these are the updates for FluentMCP, and I think this is going to be interesting. More to come on this week. Let's see what he's done here. Now we're getting somewhere. So very bold. He's got an about page. Would love to see Spencer Foreman. TrikPilot. Let's see. There's a picture of me with a helmet on. I'm sure there is somewhere. There it is. Back in the day. By the way, this is Spencer Foreman back in the day. You might want to put that in for the image. And here's a YouTube video. Clear prop. Where did I get the share? Embed that. Okay, let's see what he can do. He embedded, which is kind of interesting, he embedded book a flight plan. Join my squadron. But he's also got this problem where he put the dark on light. So, hey, also be 100% sure you always have to use light hero text or H fonts on top of dark backgrounds. Dude, all your dark fonts on dark backgrounds aren't visible. So if he does make a little boo-boo, you can just tell him, don't use dark over light. But one of the things that's important, the whole point of this, is that if we were to look at this behind the scenes, we're going to see that it's editable, again, just by looking at the sections. So if I look at this section, right, the truth is he actually had this working. The problem is probably the underlying theme has some CSS. So I can see that this stuff actually is pretty visible. Maybe this isn't. So you could either edit the CSS if you are into that stuff, which most of you don't need to be. But for example, you know, I don't know what he's making of this, but like if you did the heading here and the color is a dark color, you could change that. I just let him do all of that stylistic stuff. But it's easy with this to change things like the text. So if I say awesome founder and chief pilot, I could just do that. And it's easy enough to handle as a human being. Okay, so he's made the changes. Let's see what he did on the front. Not too shabby. He's got the logo. He's got the home, about. He put in the images, put in the video. He found something about me. Looks like he fixed the dark on dark. And I don't know what the view aircraft is. These are just some other references of things that he made up. So interesting. Now, here's one of the things that I put into this, which I think is going to be a big deal. We put in this import-export feature. Haven't really tested this yet because it just happened this afternoon. If I export this site, we end up with a JSON file. This JSON file is a very lightweight thing that has all of the information about everything that was set up inside of here. Why is that useful? It's useful because that means that in theory, the entire site could be transported over and the content included, archived, saved, whatever. I'm probably going to put something, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm probably going to put something in here that also allows us to manage client sites. I can envision that this would be useful for, let's say, somebody who is a WordPress implementer or agency, to use Simple Site to just create an infinite array of possible sites that they can distribute to clients instantly because all of the stuff is here. In fact, let's go over here, and this is the tool that I'm actually using to build the plugin itself, right? So I'm going to go back to this guy, and I'm going to say, listen, I want to repurpose you. I'm going to end this live broadcast. I just was looking at what you did here, and I like everything with the export function. But remember, we were talking a couple minutes ago. I would actually like you to take this further and make it possible that you have a custom post type that could save for, let's say, a WordPress implementer, any versions of these complete sites. That is to say, not just the site setup, but also all of the content block content, so that you could, for example, create an infinite number of sample sites for your clients, and then you could just load them up. And then if a client wants one of them, you can export it and then import it into the client's site. Make an update to this version so that you have that feature. And also make sure that when you're doing the export, that it has all of the data. I also noticed that in your site setup menu, the mode menu and display menus are a little crunch. They're crunching in over the edge of the content underneath. Be sure to space that out a bit. So this is how I design, at this point, all of the plugins. I'm literally just experimenting, using them, testing them. Then I go back in and I've got one of the dudes here, Cristobal or whoever, and he's a little bit at the end of his rope, so he may or may not take on this instruction. But he can make the next update, and the update we've got right now is 1.6.6. So this should be version 1.6.7. And that's it. So we're going to carry on with this. I wanted to give you a quick example. There's nothing about this that's like incredibly different from the last update, except all these extra features I think are gunning towards the idea that I would say probably before the end of this week, I'm going to have a system that I can demonstrate with just 2 or 3 plugins. You will have the full ability to run and manage any site for yourself and a client. And then you add in the other plugins, like, for example, the Fluent CRM or Fluent Cart, Fluent Community, and suddenly you've got all the other features you need, but the sites themselves have all the design components basically ready to rock and roll. All right, that's it for now. My voice hurts. I'm going to get ready because my son's got a hockey game tonight. I'll see you guys on the next update.